On the last podcast, I talked about Andrew Yang at the 2020 presidential debate, and a lot of you guys told me that they actually cut his mic off. And I watched the footage, and yeah, you guys were right. MSNBC, they totally cut off Andrew Yang's mic when he tried to interject and actually get his point across. And it wasn't just Andrew Yang, they also cut off Marianne Williamson's and also Tulsi Gabbard. I guess they real-time photoshopped a pimple on her face. It's crazy what's going on, but it's like mainstream media is totally a joke. Yeah, but anyways, what I want to get into is the 2020 Democratic polls since the election, and this is July 8th when I'm looking at them, and I'm taking a look at Real Clear Politics. So it looks like Biden has dropped from 32 down to 26, so he dropped quite a bit. The biggest winner is Kamala Harris. She's now in second right now at 15.2%. Sanders in third at 14%. He dropped a little bit. Warren has spiked up a little bit as well, and she's right close to Sanders at 13.8%. And then Buttigieg at 5.2%. He dropped a little bit. O'Rourke at 2.4%. Booker at 2.2%. Castro at 1.4%. Gabbard at 1.0%. Klobuchar at 1.0%. Yang at 0.8%. So I guess Yang dropped a little bit as well. And I guess Gabbard went up a little bit. So let me look at some of the polls. So I guess Yang dropped because there was an ABC News Washington Post poll that had him at 0%. So that's why the average of the last 5 polls, he dropped a little bit. But Sanders has dropped a little bit, and Kamala Harris is now second. I don't know if that's going to hold. She had a great debate performance. I was listening to David Pakman, and apparently he was saying that statistically, whoever is the front runner at the end of July, so basically in the next 2 to 3 weeks, statistically is usually the one who wins the nomination, right, for their party. So sometimes it is the second or third person, but usually it's the front runner. You know, people that are in the top 3 are most likely going to be winning. In 2016, Trump, at the beginning of July, he was like at 5%, but then he skyrocketed to the front by the end of July. And I thought that was interesting. So the next 2 to 3 weeks, I guess, could be the most important out of the entire race. It kind of makes sense that Biden dropped off a bit. He doesn't really represent the people. He just kind of represents the establishment to me. But, you know, Yang, I'm a huge supporter of Yang. I think his freedom dividend can help a lot of people, and I think it would be a really great thing. Hopefully he'll, get on some big shows. And, it would be interesting if, some of the candidates ended up having their own debate. But I don't know how that would work if it was like a Tulsi Gabbard, Andrew Yang, Marianne Williamson, just some of the middle tier candidates had it. I think that'd be pretty interesting to see. But yeah, I think that's it with the 2020 election. Definitely excited for the debate coming up at the end of July. Hopefully Andrew Yang can get on some talk shows. Maybe he could go back on something like Joe Rogan and kind of make his case again or something. Or maybe it's like Tulsi Gabbard and Andrew Yang can go on Joe Rogan and just kind of have an epic debate or something.